that they marry, even if a guy's 20 years older than him, they'll marry into him when she's 15 years old because they're in survival mode. So I think what we're neglecting is if men stop investing in these girls, these OnlyFans girls, and start investing in the good girls, there's more motivation to be good. But if I was a 14-year-old in this day and age, I'd be like, I'm just going to work out and get a BBL and get a shortcut.
It's valid. It's a good point.
But society's degenerate. Yeah. It's not men and women. Society's degenerate. It depends on what part of the world, of course, as well. But especially in the Western world, there are such benefits for degeneracy, and there's no stigma against it. There's none of the stigma. Even the things you're discussing and talking about, I agree with you completely. But a lot of these girls don't feel any shame. They don't feel any ounce of shame.
And it's a job. It's no different to a job. We've normalized it to the point where it just feels like a job for these women. And I think that when I was saying to them when I was younger and before, if you were known as, in my culture, Pakistani, you grew up in Luton, so if I even walked into a restaurant with a boy, it would be like, oh my God, she's such a slag. Like straight away, I'd get a label and I wouldn't be able to get married. But now these girls are getting married to rappers. They're having kids with rappers. A stripper is getting married. So what motivation is left for young women when men are dropping their standards in terms of promiscuity? They don't mind a promiscuous woman anymore.
I don't think men are ever going to stop wanting to see bikini pictures. You know what I mean? It's not going to change. That's why I'm saying it's up to us. Like I'm saying, we really need to make the effort because we are the mothers. You know what I mean? I just feel like we're taking away from our power. And I agree with you in what you're saying because yes, a lot of girls don't have opportunities, X and Y. That's why I think it's all about education. You find a lot of wrong things going on in society, mostly in the poorer areas as well. So it is really all about education, I think.
Yeah, but I do think that's a privilege.
I think the term is like Andrew's mentioned before on podcast, godless. Godless society.
There's a huge split. What we're discussing here is not universal across the planet, right? The things we're discussing here and the idea of women, like you're saying, having a reputation and promiscuity being frowned upon, all those things make perfect sense here. The idea of a woman sticking to education and not getting a bad reputation and working hard, that makes sense here. But in Miami, it's godless. It's a godless city.
If I don't believe in God, praise be to God, I do. But if I don't have the idea that God's watching me, what motivation as a young girl with a great body and great looks would I have to go the long route to getting success when there's a man willing to pay me $2-3 grand just for a feet pic?
Well, I think
so why don't we address the men in not being?
But are we all going to be sheep? Like for example, and a lot of people say he has money, he has it all. Why would you become Muslim when you have everything? Why would he want to limit himself in a way? So surely God's given us brains or ways to think. What is life about? What's the purpose?